I went to prison. Yeah, you had me right. And not just me, myself, two of my younger sisters, my elder sister, my brother, and a random photo student. So if you see me being all into injustice stuff and dragging the system and calling people out, it's not just because I've always been like that, which I've always been, but also because I was a victim and I went to prison because the police wanted to hide their asses. Now let's get into this story. Story time. Last year, specifically March of 2023, I was in school. I was a final year student and my sister was getting married. It was her wedding. So my sister came back home. So I came back from school. My two younger siblings came back from school. We came, to spend some time as a family and also like talk about the marriage and plan the whole thing and make it happen, right? So that day, and it was also during this whole cashless policy thing, bank issue and all of that. And I have an older brother who is into building construction. So he took this contract from this guy who owned a motel. No, brothel. You know what a brothel is? Is all these shortlets for, sex things. So you come as a man, you pay maybe for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you get a girl, and you pay them off, something like that. So this is, and his man is called Cambodia. And this brothel is located in FUTO, in Imo State. And my brother took this contract from him to build this new, the story makes me get so mad. This new site he wanted to develop for his business. And at the end of this project, this guy refused to pay my brother. At first, he was using the whole cashless bank issues as an excuse. And my brother kept waiting. Until then he started playing my brother. Telling my brother, okay, go and meet this person. He will transfer the money or all of that. And one day he even told my brother that, okay, go and meet this POS guy. My bank is not working. He's going to transfer. My brother went there and my brother was just played back and forth. Then they fixed that they've made the transfer and they did not make the transfer. And my brother was already so angry. So the following morning he woke up and he said, oh, I'm going to meet this guy. So he went to his brothel. He didn't meet him there. And he asked the girls, oh, where is Cambodia? Where is your boss? And they said that the guy was not around, that he went out. So my brother leaving the place, getting to the express road, he saw this guy on bike and he was like, Oga, stop. So he stopped and I'm like, what's up? I've not still gotten my money. You guys said you've sent this money. And the man was, getting all aggressive because he has police friends and all of that. And my brother, to be quite fair, so it was obvious that this man didn't want to pay my brother the money. So that day, my brother went to his brothel. When he got there, he didn't meet him. He met the girls that were working at the brothel. So they told him that the guy left earlier in the morning. So my brother was coming back home. When he saw the guy on the road, he was on a bike and he was like, guy, please transfer my money. So the guy was being aggressive. And to be quite fair, my brother is not someone you can push around. So they had this altercation and people gathered, it was on the road in the morning. And people were like, okay, what is going on? After he explained, they were like, pay him now. They ended up saying that he should give him something. So my brother came home with one of his phone. Since he said he was going to use the other one and make the transfer, he now came home with the other one. So when he got home, my sister was like, no, why would you take this? This is not what 1/10 of your money, like not 1/4, like not an inch. Why would you take this? So she collected the phone from him and asked him to go inside so he doesn't go out again and end up fighting with the guy or getting into problem with the guy because he was very upset. And miraculously, my brother obeyed, surprisingly. And my sister told my younger sister to go and unlock our gate because our house is far from the gate. So if the gate is locked and someone is knocking, we might not hear. So she asked him to unbolt the gate so someone can just open and come in. So in case the guy wants to come or anybody wants to come, regarding the issue. So my sister left the gate open and I went back inside to continue with my work. And my sister went back to her room and my brother obeyed and went to sleep. Around past 12, my laptop was almost dead, even my phone, and there was no light. We usually have light issue in that area, and I wanted to go and buy fuel to power the generator and charge my stuff. That was the same time my brother woke up and said he was hungry, and we've not made lunch. He said he was going out to buy something to eat. So we said, okay. He left the house before me, but I just followed suit like a few minutes later. So I just opened the gate, stepping out of the gate because our gate is right on the street. I could sight him being beaten up. by about 4-5 people, and there was also this Cambodia guy. So at first I thought like maybe they are criminals, did he have issue with people and they were using gun. These people were like armed, they were using the head of their gun to hit on my brother, so he was bleeding, they were beating him, and Cambodia was standing over him pouring alcohol on him. Yeah, pouring alcohol on him. So when I saw it, I ran towards them. I went to the person that was holding me. I'm like, what is happening? Who are you? What did he do? The guy was like, if you don't leave me, I'm going to shoot you. Like, he didn't even want to answer me. He was pushing me away. So I ran back home. I called my older sister, my sister Chi. Come and see what is happening. Oh, they are beating Solo and they're using gun on him. So my sister ran out, my younger siblings, and they were like, what is going on? We're all just trying to find out what is even like, what is the matter. So, and prior to this, I forgot to mention that our last born came back home that morning after the whole morning incident and told us that she met one guy who is a runaway soldier and also a friend of Cambodia. They used to call him Onyame, but he's a guy that ran away from Bat when he was posted to Meduguri. And the guy told him that that we forgotten that Cambodia have police friends, that he will use his police friends to deal with Solo. So when my younger sister told me this, I brushed it off. I'm like, ignore it. They can't do anything. So that was when it now occurred to me that, oh, these are the police friends that he was making threats with. Sha, I kept asking my sister, we're trying to find out what happened. The guy was threatening my brother that I'm going to shoot you and nothing will happen. I'll waste you and nothing will happen. Like, you know, their regular word. So calling it a joke, this guy cocked his gun. But because I used to panic easily, maybe he cocked his gun, I ran away. So when I ran, I'm sorry, but I ran. Then he fired, like he shot. He actually did not just threaten, he did fire the bullet. So I was so shaking, I fell to the ground and I was so powerless, and the only thing I could do was pick up my phone with the little battery I had left, and I started recording what was happening, how they were beating him, they were shooting, all those things they were doing, and all day I'll kill you and nothing will happen. So I recorded it and I posted it on Twitter, and you could hear my voice in the video shouting and crying. They just shot at my brother, they want to kill my brother. They are like, I was narrating what was happening. And I have a very large following on Twitter, and kind of like people know me, and back then I used to be very active, so people immediately picked it up, started sharing. And I had this man on Twitter whom I respect so much. He's a very amazing man to me. He has come through, like when I have cases of people and I want him to intervene, he usually intervene. So he saw the video immediately and he started calling the IG, because he's quite connected. Started calling the IG of police. And I also, like, because I included the name of the police station, the location of the incidents, and it did not even end there. They did not just beat my brother, they dragged my brother. This guy was pouring alcohol on him, they were dragging him on the road, and he was bleeding all over like he was a common criminal. So when I posted that video, so someone sent me a contact and said it was for the Kiniko people relation officer police in Imo State in Owerri. And I called him. He said I should go to the police station and give the DPO my phone. Then I said okay, but then I was going with my elder sister and one of my younger sister, my immediate younger sister. My elder brother now called and said we should not go to that police station until he arrived. So we were already at Amausa. If you know FUTO, you know Amausa. And I said okay to wait for my brother, because he said we should wait wherever we are. So we stood there, we were waiting. Then since our phone weren't quite charged, my siblings crossed the road to plug their phone, and we were just there, right? That was when somebody, a woman in mufti, just walked up to my older sister, who was, by the way, her marriage was within that period. Walked up to her and grabbed her by the shirt, like pulling her, like, follow me. My sister was like, who are you? What did I do? Why are you harassing me? This lady was pulling my sister, like dragging her. Sister was like, why are you embarrassing me? What did I do to you? So my younger sister saw what was happening, so they crossed over to the road again and was like, what is going on? Why are you harassing her? And me, I did not even want to interfere because I don't really know how to shout all those things. So I started recording again. I started recording them. Then I was recording from a distance, from a cyber cafe where I was charging my phone. So there was this woman holding my sister with one hand, now use one hand to make a call. I guess she called her colleagues. So that was when 3 guys that were now on uniform now appeared. That was how we know they are part of the police people. So they started beating my sisters, my elder sister, and the youngest of us there, my younger sister, started beating them. And my sister was now shouting, please record what is happening. So this guy, he's a FUTO student, his name is Onyema. he now saw what's happening because my sister was saying record what's happening. The guy now started recording it, and that was how he got involved too. So when the other guy, when they now saw that the guy was recording them, they rushed him. They like slapped him, beam, and they started beating him. They started dragging him, my sister, and my younger sister, the youngest amongst us, not our last born, but there among the youngest among us. They now started dragging them to the police station too. So the next that I was recording them from the cyber cafe. So they now ran after me. I ran into a church, but my phone fell down, and they picked it. But what they did not know that I was recording and I was sending it straight to Twitter. Whatever they were doing, I was recording. I wasn't recording and keeping in my phone. Nope. I was recording and I was sending straight to Twitter. I was recording. I know that anything can happen. So people were following my videos, even though if you call, I wasn't picking because they took my phone. So, and I followed them. I'm like, give me my phone. Somebody wants to speak to your DPO. We got to the station. Getting there, come and see the way we're beating our youngest, the youngest amongst us, my younger sister. I know we are plenty in my house. I don't even know how, but she was the youngest amongst us. They were beating her. They were beating my older sister. They were beating my immediate younger sister. They were beating this Onyema guy. So I'm not like, give me my phone. Somebody wants to speak to your DPO. So at this time, the matter have escalated because the time between when they took my brother, the first video, and when they actually took my sisters, it was about 2 hours. So like the thing have already escalated online. They were already getting calls. They were like, who is the Bubena? When they saw the video, someone told them that, I guess on a call, that someone posted like, who is the Bubena? I said, it's me, I am a Bubena. They said, oh, I posted it on Twitter, blah 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 blah. So I guess they were calling them from Abuja. They panicked, so they locked us up. They were trying to find a way to defend themselves. They locked us up. They didn't even allow my mom or my brother to see us. They told them to come the following morning. Before they arrived the following morning, they put us in a car early in the morning and drove us to court. When my mom and my brother got to the station, they told them that they took us to state CID. Meanwhile, they took us to a magistrate court nearby. They just wanted to like get a way to remand us so they can say that we are now in prison. They liaised with their people. So when we got, when we got to the magistrate court, the magistrate asked us, do you have a lawyer? And I said, they didn't even give us access to our phone, our parents, or anybody. So she now said they should give me my phone, and my battery was like 1%. I know that, if I call my mom, they might not pick, but I know that there's one person that is always reliable. So I called him, and he has access to my family. He's my friend. He has access to my family, and he was going to pick my call regardless. So I called him. I'm like, this is where we are. So he called my mom. My mom now told him that they were going to state. And I said, no, we are not in state CID, that we are at the magistrate court in the same Ihiagwa. Before my mom, they could turn back and get to the court. They were already taking us to prison because they were like, oh, in the absence of a lawyer. Do you know what they did? They charged my brother for armed robbery, assault, they charged all. So they charged my brother for armed robbery. They actually said that my brother went to rob. That he went to rob someone with gun. They charged us all for assault, that we beat up police people. Even when there are video evidence, like, of everything that happened, because I recorded everything that happened. Anyway, my mom, before they could get back to the courts, remember, they were already taking us to prison. We told them, they followed us and they saw where we were. But before we could even get to the prison, right, the prison officers have already, like, as if they knew what was happening because they've been seeing the videos, because the video went viral. So they know, because one man told me, I know who you are and I know what happened. And that was when I realized the Nigerian prison, their officers are just, I don't want to talk about some things, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but they are amazing. They are hands down the best government agency in Nigeria that I've encountered so far. You're free to believe whatever you want to believe. But from my own experience, because from when we got there, they just knew what was happening. They knew the story, so they knew they needed to help us act. It was even one of them that referred us to the lawyer we used, who is hands down a very great lawyer, Barrister Femi, God bless you. And immediately, our lawyer started acting, and after, it was a lot of back and forth. They went behind trying to use some of my mom's relatives, trying to get us to like kill the case with them at the back after everything that they did to us, after tarnishing our image. Our names were on newspaper, news, online news, calling us family of fighters and everything. If not that, because of those videos I put out, so some publishing companies like I think Daily News and Premium Times, they saw it, so they reached out to they reached out to people in the neighborhood to get the real story. Then after we came out from prison, they met me and they did a lot of follow-up news on the case, even as we went to court and everything that was happening, because police never appeared in court for one day. They didn't. Sure, after about 8 months, we won the case, but we at least we stayed in prison for about 12 days before, because it was during that cashless policy period, and you know how everything was, yeah. So it wasn't even easy to get to, because they gave us a 1 month reappearance date, but our lawyer was able to get a quicker date, less than 2 weeks. I think it was about 12 days. So we went and we applied for bail and they granted us bail and we went home. Then we started going to court. But because they charged my brother with armed robbery, it was even not within the jurisdiction of the magistrate court to grant him bail. So they have to move my brother's case to high court. But my brother did not even go to court for that case, because remember I told you that the news already got to Abuja and a lot of people were involved. So our lawyer kind of like wrote and what is it called? Hi, if I can get that, there's someone in charge of judiciary. What's the office again? The chief judiciary, something like, if I remember, I'm going to tell you guys in the office. So the person kind of like wrote a letter to advise the court to dismiss the case because there were no evidence that my brother was involved in anything robbery or even robbed anybody. You are owing him. You brought police to intimidate him. That was what happened. So they discharged my brother's case, and that was it. But at least I spent 12 days in prison. We did not, that's the same thing. We did not stay in the prison, like all those prison rooms and prison bunks. No, we did not. There was this room, I think they said they built the house for quarantine during Corona. That was where we were that 12 days. Me and my sisters, we stayed there. But my brother and the guy, because you know they are men, they stayed in the prison. The FUTO students, he's the collateral damage on this case, because you know what you don't even know about, they charged him too that he beat up police people. So yeah, this is how far the police can go to cover up their asses. That is why when police tell you that someone did this, please don't ever believe. Don't ever believe. If I did not post those videos, because they seized our phone, they took everything. If I did not post those videos, we wouldn't have had any evidence. The world wouldn't have known our story. People have like even thought it made sense. And looking at my brother's physique, you might actually think, yeah, he went for armed robbery because he's tall, he's huge, he's dark skinned. You might actually believe. So never ever trust the police. Never ever. So I just realized that I missed a lot of important details in that story because I really don't even want to think deep on that story. One of the things is that, yes, my brother had a lot of wounds, but he was treated in prison. Prison has hospital. My sister's wedding, yeah, the whole thing fell through because it happened in prison. What else? Yeah, school did resume and I ended up resuming late, and I was coming from school for court every 2 weeks. So I was flying from Owerri to Kano, Kano to Owerri to Abuja, Abuja to Kano, then Kano to Jigawa every 2 weeks through and through throughout the case. Yeah, my younger sister, even though she was underage, she was in prison too with us, but yes, like I said, everybody in that prison was just amazing. They were super amazing. I've never seen, like, it changed my entire perspective to understand that it's not even individual, it's the system, because even the controller of the prison will come from time to time. I used to see him come visit people, ask them about their case, because they just knew that the police was so messed up that they get involved, they talk to people, they find out what happened. They can also refer them for free legal support, like lawyers and stuff. So a lot of things. But if you have any question, ask on that. And yes, immediately this case went to court and went to prison. In order to cover their acts, that guy went and transferred my brother's money, but he forgot that there's something called bank history, so the time of the transfer could show. And they didn't even mention that at, like, not even once. Their whole case was built on my brother went for armed robbery and that we beat up police when they came to arrest him, forgetting that the incidents between we and the police and my brother and the police happened in two different locations, like, and the time gap was almost 2 hours to 3 hours. So yeah, but regardless, My neighbors will not let me shine. That's why I'm supposed to like record a very important story for you guys today, which I promised. But like you realize in that other video, a lot of noise. I had to come and stand in this part of the house. I can say this one shortly. But regardless, thank you for watching, and please reshare, reshare.